welcome. It's episode 130, Red Leaf Retrocast Anime Edition. I am JD. Tori, your theme pick today.
Yes, I did. I picked.
You picked a thing.
I did indeed pick the thing. It was an anime from 2004 called Sunabouzu, aka Desert Punk.
Yeah, it sure was.
It sure was. Studio Gonzo anime.
All right,
Who remembers Gonzo?
Well, that explains a lot. All right. So on this episode today, Hickey, you're here.
Yes, I am. Hi.
He's also here. In case anyone was wondering.
I'm barely here.
Barely.
But I'm here.
So on this episode, we're doing summer 2022 impressions, as I guess minimum as it is. Full effort, guys. Well, like it's either now or we wait like essentially 3 weeks for the next episode to come out. So might as well do it now.
Might as well, because we've watched so much of this new season after all.
I have. I've watched 3 shows.
Hickey, you're barely here. Nobody wants to...
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just exit the call. Bye.
No, you can stay. It's fine.
Okay. Let me mute myself.
So, the way this podcast works, if you're listening for the first time, I haven't done this in a while, but yeah, this is the Red Leaf Retrocast. We each host picks an anime to review, and we go in rotation. The anime must be at least 15 years old from today's date, and we're good to go. And then we just talk about random shit and possibly anime beforehand.
I mean, to be fair, JD, who doesn't know about us at this point, right? Like,
I mean, it's been, 4 years of doing this?
Exactly. Everyone knows who we are, definitely.
Oh, no. It's actually 5 years.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Am I that old?
Oh, no.
Oh, holy shit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. What happened?
We just passed our 5-year anniversary, June 3rd, 2022. We didn't even know it.
I didn't remember it.
So that would have been... That would have been the Bastard episode, our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah. I mean, have we ever done an anniversary? I don't think we have, to be perfectly honest. I don't.
We did episode 100.
We did episode 100, but like, I mean, that was special.
That was May last year.
that was also a bit of a joke, considering the fact that we always said that we wouldn't make it past 10 episodes. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah, but, 5 years later.
5 years later, and for some reason we still haven't realized that this isn't worth it and decided to call it quits.
No, it's great. Come on, what are you talking about? What other anime podcast is reviewing things that are very old?
Surprisingly, I do see some pop up every now and again.
They don't last very long.
Consistently.
Oh, they do not. But it is a lot of them are podcasts that just happen to talk about something, which is interesting. Whenever it's just like, we decided to go through Ashita no Joe, and I'm just like, man, that was our first episode.
that was episode 1.
That was a long time ago, man.
Now that you mention it, I came across a couple recently, but they were more like just retro cultural podcasts, and they do an anime episode, and they just kind of talk about old anime. That's all they do. Well, that's all they did for that like 1 or 2 episode span.
I mean, it makes sense though.
Yeah, it's always the same things though. It's like, hey, I watched Toonami. Dragon Ball's good.
I know, but I mean that makes sense for like the cultural aspect of it, right? Because it's like, let's be real honest here and say like, unless you have like a very specific interest in retro anime, you probably aren't going to seek out most things. Like, there are a lot of shows, older shows that are worth watching, but also a lot of shows that are just kind of like they are from below average to above average. And
bro, have you looked at the list of our scores of these things we've been reviewing lately?
I'm well aware, but that's my point, right? But it's like,
God, they're all terrible.
it's one of those things where it's like you do eventually run out of shows, so then you end up on that like the rest, right? The sort of shit that everybody keeps complaining about seasonal anime was like most of the seasonal anime is shit, and it's like, yeah, it always has been. 90% of the stuff that comes out isn't good. That's just kind of how it is.
There's one good show that no one watched because it looked like shit, and it's been 40 years since it came out, so no one actually watches this anymore. There's the retards like us that go around finding those kind of things.
Yeah,
but most of the time it's just shitty recommendations just to make a frustrating episode to record.
You know, we did review all of Slam Dunk.
We did review all of Slam Dunk. Yeah. Now, most of the time, it is literally just a matter of like, someone recommended this anime to me at one time. Maybe we should watch it. And I was like, man, that was bad.
Yeah. So, besides doing Nashka Valley of the Wind this year, our highest rated anime, not counting Slam Dunk because that was like a multi-year process, was your pick, Hickey, from back in March. It was Silver Fang, of all things.
No, that was Story pick.
I was about to say, that is my pick.
What did I just say? Hickey?
Hickey, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I apologize.
Yeah.
Mine was Coyote Ragtime Show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It absolutely was.
Is that your highest rated pick, Hickey, this year?
I don't think it is.
No, I don't think
okay, you picked Naushka, so I guess that counts.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, it is... Even then, like, Silver Fang is just, like, it's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, it was good. We gave it high praise.
We did. But it is still one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Like, would I recommend someone to go out of their way to watch it? Probably not. But it is fun. It's worth it.
Everyone wants to be the top bitch.
Everyone wants to be the top bitch. But yeah, nah. Like, but that is essentially where we're at now. We're essentially just fucking swimming through the garbage, trying to find the fucking treasure. And it's like, there has to be something, right? Something has to be overlooked.
Well, it's not even just overlooked. It's what have we not watched? What haven't we watched in 20 years kind of situation. I mean, we could just go through. We could just go on a slew of watching all the old Ghibli movies. We could do that.
We could. There's a lot of stuff we haven't talked about. You know, technically, like the beginning of all. Like, I mean, obviously we started Bleach, but like the beginning of all of the fucking big three, right? They're technically a retro at this point. And it is, you know,
the earlier episodes, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like there isn't stuff to talk about, but at the same time, it's like, you know, there's plenty of One Piece podcasts out there. The Naruto podcasts that did exist, they're probably dead.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, like, you know, I guess the Bleach fandom is still trucking along, trying to pretend like Bleach is still relevant. But, I mean, it is coming back, so I guess it is now. But, you know.
We just reviewed it.
We did. But also, I don't really think we work as a fucking good measurement for that, because when the fuck did we ever care about stuff being relevant?
Bastard, I guess, is the closest recently.
Bastard is one. Although usually it's more like we fucking sit and look at stuff to talk about than just like somebody's like, wait a minute, isn't that coming out again? And it's like, yeah, it is. Oh, let's talk about it then.
Evangelion, we did all like the rebuild movies and stuff when we did the new one came. That was relevant.
Wasn't that like after it? Yeah, either way.
It was like, around the same time.
I guess. Either way, that was a waste of time. So, but yeah, like most of the time, it's like, it is literally just a case of like, does this sound interesting? Sure, I guess that sounds interesting. Let's talk about that. And then it turns out not to be very interesting or very good, or I don't know.
I have so much fun doing these episodes, though, because, I mean, in what universe would I review something like Heavy or even watch it on my own? And we have a whole podcast of laughing about like a dude with cancer and AIDS. Like,
yeah, literally. No, like, I mean, I agree, right? It is fun.
Although I would say it's probably with cancer.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yes, it's probably more fun to record these podcasts and talk about these shows than it is to watch them a lot of the time. It's just like sitting there watching it. It's like,
it's give and take.
It is. I mean, some things are absolutely worth it. Like, you know, like what's a show that we rated really poorly? Yeah, Genocyber, for example, right? But I mean,
oh yeah,
Genocyber. That's the sort of shit you expect from Genocyber. No one goes into Genocyber expecting greatness. You go into Genocyber expecting a fucking hot mess, but an entertaining hot mess.
Yeah, we could go on a slew of just popular shows that
we could. Where's the fun in that?
But honestly, those episodes, while they do better in downloads, they don't do like that much better. Relatively. Like, okay, so we go from like 800 downloads an episode to 1,000. It's like, all right, so we got an extra 200. How many people stay?
We are literally...
We've been stuck there for years.
We are literally doing that thing where it's like we're fucking watching the things that nobody else is going to watch because there's no need to. There's no point in doing it. But you know what? If you're ever curious about something, just come to us. We have probably talked about it at some point, and we probably came up with the exact same conclusion that you also figured a long time ago. It is probably not worth it. So but now you know.
Now you can confirm and So I went on a podcast earlier this morning, and while plugging, it's like, "Hey, what you do an anime podcast? What did you just review?" And I was like, "Well, we just reviewed a penguin that came back from Vietnam, and it's a whole movie about him having PTSD and a woman he falls in love." They just go, "What? You review that?" It's like, we review some weird things.
That's not even the weirdest thing we've talked about. Not even.
No, that is there's some jams, definitely.
And really, we're just kind of referencing all the things we've talked about this year. We got 5 years of content of this stuff.
Oh yeah. And every once in a while we watch some good stuff as well, because or piss off the Sailor Moon fans, because for some reason that's a thing.
We don't get much. It was a thing at the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a thing at the time. I'm not expecting people to fucking sit around or waiting for the next time we badmouth Sailor Moon. I do hope people have better things to do with their lives.
Let me check, because the download algorithms are all fucked up these days because Anchor, and we switched away from Podbean. But let's see here. What's among the most downloaded episode rankings? Here we go. Let's see. Excel Saga. That's number 1 now.
All right. All right.
Episode 11, by the way. If anyone's wondering. That's how that functions. What's number 2? Let's see. Looking. Witch Hunter Robin. Oh, that was always popular for some reason.
Yeah.
Episode 65.
Yeah. That show is horrible. Oh.
It is. I don't know. Like, there's some weird ones like that. Same thing with
1,570 downloads.
Yeah. Same thing like Blue Gender. I remember that's a show that like always people talk about, but god damn it, it's not good.
That thing is also awful.
Does anybody ever actually watch those?
I mean, apparently, yeah, because they're popular shows. People like them, but and it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like those are the epitome of I watched that when I was a kid, and I remember I really enjoyed that.
Night has 1,930.
Listen, JD, hentai are always popular.
The hentai episodes are very popular.
That's true.
We got a couple of those. One. Should do another one, Hickey? You got one in mind?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Historically and relevant, I don't think you guys want to know.
What, La Blue Girl?
Oh. No,
no, not feeling that one?
No. How do you guys feel about mid-2000 Japan?
No one likes 2000 Japan except for you. Like, I don't get it.
Well, it's because, it was a little bit before the thing passed. That one law, which a famous mangaka got with. The
Blue
thing.
Gender's got 1,293.
So, I don't think you guys want to reveal that kind of thing. It's all there.
I know it is. I know it is. I know it exists. Same as there are some things we're never going to talk about, like fucking what's that fucking thing called? Lolita, that fucking hentai. Brutal. That's not something we're ever gonna fucking do. Because goddamn, hell no. Hell no.
Anyways, enough about that.
Enough about that.
Impressions. How about we just go into it then? I think we bullshitted long enough. Good 5-year anniversary talk.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We review weird shit and dumb shit, and most of the time frustrating shit.
But the good thing is all of our content is definitely like more on the evergreen stuff, so I think that's why like periodically things just get hit with a bunch of downloads and Because that has happened where a community on Reddit or something just hits it, and then we come up in a search engine like immediately because no one else reviews it.
Hell yeah.
I think Initial D got hit with that a couple times over the years. Okay, so summer 2022 impressions. I have picked 3 shows to watch, a 4th, but Don Machi, I think they just had their first episode come out like today. So I guess we'll have to wait a little bit for that one. So I got 3 shows. Tori, what are you watching? What are your impressions?
So far, the 2 shows that I watched from this season are the second season of The Devil is a Part-Timer and the 4th season of Overlord, meaning I've seen the first episode of both of them.
That's fine. I mean, I think you'll get a lot from those since they're sequels.
Yeah. I mean, do you want me to just jump straight into it?
I don't see why not. I mean, Devil is a Part-Timer is ranked I'm just looking at the popularity rankings, and Part-Timer is 1, Overlord Season 4 is number 3. So you got 2 of the top 3 there.
Yep.
What
All
you got?
So The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2, I'm going to start there. Basically, it's been almost 10 years since the first season. And essentially we just get thrown right back into everything. We're essentially just following like a devil lord was fled to the human world and is now working part-time while the hero chased after him, and it's also working, and they're just sort of living normal life and getting by. That's essentially the whole thing. It's a bit of a comedy sort of light novel style comedy, and man, do you feel that when the fucking first episode of the season starts? Because, I remember enjoying this, and to a certain extent I still do, but you definitely do feel like a lot of the comedy is dated. And the fact that they essentially just jump you straight back into everything, like they're just like, all right, yeah, remember the events that happened? Yeah, that was sick, dude. Anyways, let's move on. It's just like, bruh, 10 years, and you're just going to fucking end wave it like you did that.
Remember that character? No. Well, he's fat now. I was like, okay.
Okay, yeah,
sure.
The boss is like, that's the dude from across the street, the fucking rival of the fucking fast food industry. It's like, oh, yeah, I think I remember that. Wait, what? I don't remember him looking like that. Yeah, no, he's fat now. Oh, okay. All right, I guess that explains. Yeah, sure. And, it's just a bunch of, funny stuff. Typical, trying to getting back into the situation. They're poor. The devil is poor. He works part-time at McDonald's, for fuck's sake. Of course he's poor. And he's the only one in the household of 3 that works. Of course they're poor. So yeah, it's just kind of that, getting back into it, seeing some characters again, getting attacked by a fucking cockroach, being scared as all hell, shit like that, until a baby shows up and declares the Devil Lord and the hero to be its parents. And yay, and man, that is a joke I haven't seen in a while. That is an old one. So yeah, that is basically where the show is at the moment. There isn't that much to happen in episode 1, all things considered. It just sort of keeps going with the comedy. I mean, I definitely think it would have been better off, not being 10 years down the line. But I'm going to hold off any real judgment until I've seen where they're actually planning on going this season. Because with 1 episode, there's obviously not been much.
Sure. So maybe
the third
next
season is also already confirmed. So,
oh my god,
I think it is.
I think it is. I'm not seeing anything, but you might be right.
Yeah, because Classroom of the Elite, the 3rd season is confirmed. I'm pretty sure it's the same for That Was a Part-Timer.
Yep. And yeah, I'm just going to do Overlord 4 quickly as well, because it's basically the same thing. I watched 1 episode. And Overlord starts every season the exact same way. Here's characters you remember. Here's characters bantering with each other. Here's Albedo being fucking thirsty over Moanga again. And you love it, because you always do. Do you remember what happened? I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years, so probably not.
Has it really been that long between season 3 and 4?
I think so. Because this is 2022, and then, 2018.
Wow. Time flies.
It sure does. And it's just like, remember they took over the kingdom, whatever. They're in control now. They're ruling people's lives, and people really don't like them right now. So there's that. There is that. But yeah, we're back. All the same characters you know and love. You know you're gonna enjoy this as well. I sure did. I laughed my ass off at the first episode because I'm dumb like that. And yeah, it's Overlord. You've seen the other 3 seasons of Overlord, you know exactly what you're getting.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend said it was the best soap opera to come on in a long time.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's the same shit. It's the funny stuff with Momonga just sitting there being fucking supreme leader, and now he has to deal with fucking politics and shit like that, as he is just sitting there like getting requests and having to look through forms and shit, and he's just there like, yes, of course. And then you get the cut to like the freeze thing into his like inner monologue, and it's just like, I don't know what any of this is. I can't read this. I don't understand it, but I'm gonna have to look important and look like I know what I'm doing. It's great. It's funny.
All right, I'll go next. So I got 3 shows I'm watching. Made in Abyss season. What is this? Technically 3, I suppose.
Isn't it 2?
Well, they count the 3rd movie as like its own season, I think.
Yeah, I guess they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just go with 3. We'll just go with that. Then I got Call of the Night. I'm watching that, and I have gone through and watched Isekai Harem.
Oh,
of course.
You did. Yeah.
And between watching Isekai Harem and this fucking show Desert Punk, God, I feel like a dirty old man.
Good. You sure?
At least they are sincere. They're not trying to hide anything.
I mean, yes, if there's one commonality between the 2 shows, they are definitely men true to their feelings. They do not hold back. And at the very least, it's so absurd at times, you just can't help but laugh. And so I'll start with this guy here, because, oh my god. He's transported into another world. He murders some bandits, like, right off the bat. He immediately comes to the conclusion he's in a game. And then
yeah, of course.
He immediately freaks out when he can't log out, or he just goes, well, this is my life now. He goes into town, gets money because I guess a dude stole from him or whatever. Who cares? He sells him off as a slave. He gets money. Then the slave trader goes, I have a hot chick you could buy. And they just go through this dialogue where it's like, you can make her do whatever you want. And they say some grotesque things. Like, you can shove things up her ass. You could. He's just like, oh my god, I can do all that to her. Oh, this is the greatest. How much? He's like, well, she's not cheap. He's like, okay, well, where do I go? What can I do? Well, you can go to this dungeon. You can go grind, I guess. And he's like, well, the grinding's not working. Goes into the dungeon, and weirdly enough, the dungeon is super interesting because he has this sword, which has like mana and HP absorption powers. So that's like the cheat code he has to, I guess it's like his DLC he got in the game.
His cheat code is life steal? Okay.
Yeah.
And mana steal. So dude can just is a murder machine.
Oh, right. Yeah. Through trading, he has a skill that can increase how much everything's worth if he trades it or something. But, yeah, so he's in the middle of grinding, trying to get enough money. He had a near-death experience when he got caught in a, what do they call it? Like a camp of monsters, side dungeon. So he definitely needs like help in this. One thing like, if I'm to actually critique a part of the show, was the beginning of episodes 2. It does like a wild flash forward where it shows like all the women he, I guess, ends up buying. And it's like 10 years later or something, and there's like a kid that's clearly his, and he has this weird conversation with him, and then the intro music starts. I'm like, well, that's lame. I kind of at least want some mystery of who is all these hot chicks he's gonna fuck. Don't just tell me outright and show me. That's lame.
I need a little bit of tease, a little bit of edge.
At least give me a little cock tease going on with the story. Don't just lay it out for me right there.
You don't understand, man. Like we're talking about a bunch of slaves there, right? Like if you're watching this show and you don't like the first girl, right? You're gonna drop the show. So you need that pointer to be like, but I like her. I guess I'm gonna stick around for when she shows up.
You're very logical with this argument here, but I don't know. It's
your
very
logic does
show.
not apply here.
I don't know if it applies for this instance.
I don't know either. I'm just saying. I can see that being the reasoning for why they would do something like that, and be like, that's why we are doing. Yes.
Well, when you put it that way, that's probably exactly why they did that.
Yeah. Because you can't catch everyone's attention with one girl.
And I guess you're guaranteeing that this has the possibility of being some long investment adventure. Maybe?
No.
All right.
No.
Forget it.
They never are. They never are.
Anyway, the show is trash, and yet I'm embarrassingly entertained.
I mean, it's got a 7 on Mal, 7.06.
God.
Yeah. I mean, it's not ashamed of what it is.
It is definitely not ashamed when the slave trader and him are just talking about all the dirty things they're going to do to each other.
People might go mad saying, but the guy is a dick. He's a slave and woman. You fucked him. It's like, yeah, that's like from the get-go. He just says that. It's like, well, he's not ashamed. What are you expecting?
I'm telling you, when that dialogue started between him and the slave trader, and they're bleeping things out because it's so... It's so yeah. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Like, oh my god, holy god! It's the same the manga thing. It's also
and it's switching between censored scenes and showing the smoky naked things, and she's like blowing them, and like, good god, okay, let's roll with that, I guess. If we're gonna get wacky, let's embrace it.
Yeah. No, second season of Prostitute Reviews, dude.
Oh no. Oh no.
That one would be good.
This gives me a question. Is there an uncensored version of this?
Oh, like the virus harem anime?
Yeah, because I'm just looking at the producers, and ATX is listed here, so that's why I'm thinking like,
probably.
That sounds like an uncensored version.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out in time, but I guess I'll continue watching it, and you'll hear more of that.
More of sex slaves. All
yes,
right,
there is an uncensored version.
Oh, yeah. Of course there is.
All right. How do I find this, Hick?
Just search the name of the anime and either uncensored or ATX. AT.
Okay.
And X. You might find it. ATX is the best date.
If I'm going to feel dirty, I might as well just go full bore.
Might as well feel dirty uncensored.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, call the night.
I'm gonna look in my... yes.
Okay, call the
Another
night.
one. Who is kind of embarrassed of what it is.
I cut out. I apologize. Call the night. I enjoy this. It's kind of tropey, but it's very, very stylistic. And I love the character designs. The music is super interesting and kind of hip-hoppy. Very trendy, very catchy. It's about this kid who can't really figure out his like school life situation. It's definitely a coming of age story, like right off the bat. You feel all that. And he is having not amnesia.
Insomnia.
Insomnia, thank you. He's having insomnia problems, so he just kind of sneaks out at night and he's walking around, and the way they portray the night is this beautiful like black and purple and neon, just this is your world because everyone else is asleep. And he comes across this cute little vampire chick, and she kind of messes with him, trying to make him break out of his like eggshell type personality. And the dialogue is weirdly fun because they just outright talk to each other in why are you acting so weird in these situations? That's awkward. And they acknowledge a lot of that. It's I'm into it. Episode episode 2 has a little cliffhanger where I guess one of his classmates, he talks about this like two-way radio watch that he has, and he tells a story about when he was younger. He didn't really have the confidence to interact with the watch that someone picked up, and then finally, like, this one girl does. And I believe it's the same girl that's referenced in episode 1 as she came out and said, "Hey, I like you," and he just goes, "Bro, I'm like 14. I don't understand what this love thing is yet," which is actually a very mature answer, ironically enough.
I was about to say, 14, no chance.
Yeah, 14. He's like, I don't know what love is, and like the classmates all look at him like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" He goes, "I don't know. I'm 14."
Yeah, dude, you're 14. That's exactly it. You sit there and be like, "I like you," and be like, "Yeah, cool, fuck yeah, I'm awesome."
Right. So, I mean, that's all of his motivations to kind of figure out this personality. And the vampire chick, I mean, there's a lot of, like, she wears skin-tight clothes, she's very sexualized, but so is, like, every vampire thing you've ever seen since the early 2000s.
No way, never.
Yeah. Figure that out. And so she's, like, weirdly embarrassed over the basic things, because she apparently has similar issues with, I guess, how she tackles things like love, and they establish that vampires procreate through having a human fall in love with them, and then they can become vampires, and of course, like, biting the neck can be sexualized. It's how they eat, the blah blah blah. And so she thinks his blood is very, like, delicious, and his goal is to basically discover what love is and fall in love with her, so he'll become a vampire. Not really understanding that particular aspect of it, but it gives him a purpose, which is kind of the point for, I guess, his character currently. And she's like, "Yeah, okay, your blood's good anyways." And there's just funny instances scattered throughout. I think the funniest one was when he's like, you don't have a cell phone in this day and age?" And she goes, "Wait, hold on." She pulls out one from the 80s. Which is that was a good little moment. So yeah, good show, very stylized. I like it. And then Made in Abyss. Have you been watching Call of the Night, Hickey?
Yes. The opening is great, the ending is great, and the backgrounds are amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's from the same guy who did Nagashikashi, so it's funny.
That's why I like the character art. It's like the only thing I liked about that.
And the dialogues as well.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. Okay. So, Made in Abyss. I'm not going to say the Japanese title name. It is The Golden City of the Scorching Sun. So it's a continuation. They're down at the lowest level, the point of no return for humans. Episode 1 is a whole backstory over, I guess, the first settlers to go down, or at least this group is anyways. And so you have all these characters established, and that leaves, I guess, some air of mystery and discovery. Like, are they even still there? They had a guide for it all, etc., etc. It's clearly has something to do with what's his face, Reg's origin story that they slowly are discovering, but very much still a lot of mystery behind it. Well, so we continue off with Rico, Reg, and Nanachi, the bunny rabbit chick mutated girl. So we have our 3, and they're going down. It kicks off right at the episode 2 kicks off right at the end of episode or the third movie. And this place is really cool. It's stylized. It's establishing that certain areas are more dangerous. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of different curses to this level. Because if you go up too much on certain levels, you'll get cursed with like upwards, as in vertically up to getting closer to other levels. But I guess they haven't had the need to show that yet in this one. Where was I? Episode 2. So they have the white whistle. They're traveling along, trying to like figure out where they are, what this like broken down city they're in. And the whistle's stolen in their sleep by, all we've seen right now is this like creature with red eyes. And it leads them into this like tree or dead creature. Maybe it's alive. And there's like robots and shit in there. And that's your cliffhanger. And the robots have built this civilization. But so there's a lot of mystery, which Made in Abyss was very good at, leaving you wanting more. It's great dialogue. Of course, the characters are like drawn in wacky, putty type ways still. But besides like that one little hang up, that I'm not a big fan of the character art, but everything else is still very good. And
very fucked up.
Everything's like super fucked up still. But that's kind of the appeal of Made in Abyss, that this place will fuck you up.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Man, that last episode was brutal. Holy shit.
I haven't seen episode 3 yet, but I've seen episode 2.
Dude, episode 3 is fucking brutal.
I mean,
holy shit.
Episode 2 has... so the whistle's stolen, and this thing's like trying to lead them into the tree, and like midway there's like these animals that have been put off to the side, and their like butts are sewn, and they have to reach into its corpse through its ass and pull out I forget what they pull out exactly. I think it was a map or something. No.
Ah, yes, of course.
No, it was their fucking hair that they cut off their head in their sleep. That's what it was. It's like, as you do.
That's one does, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very important.
So yeah, I'm having fun with those 3. And Danmachi, I'll watch the first couple episodes before the next anime episode that we do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying the 3 shows I'm watching.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And just out of tradition, I have like 10 episodes that I'm watching.
10 shows?
10 shows. There isn't a lot in this season that I'm interested in.
No, because it's a bad season.
Yeah, kind of. Out of the ones who weren't talked about, I am watching Lycoris Recoil, which is quite a surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is.
Okay.
Basically, just a bunch of orphans.
Orphans?
Being trained by the Japanese government to be pretty much killing machines. So they go around stopping terrorism and whatnot. So we followed one of the girls. She made a mistake in a mission. She got pretty much fired, but they cannot fire her, so she just got demoted to a exile kind of job.
Okay.
In a cafe with another girl who came like from kind of happened the same thing. And it's pretty much them taking odd jobs to protect the citizens. They're not kind of official because they cannot take the official jobs. And it's very, very interesting. I would say it has an 8.9 on my anime list.
8.09.
And 8.09. And it's extremely well animated. It's very fun. I'm enjoying it, especially because Chisato, which is the light-haired girl, she's an absolute like machine. Like holy shit, she just like they explained on episode 3, I think. She has good reflections and good predictions. So the better of a shot you are, the easier it is for her to predict where you're gonna shoot and just dodge the bullets. So, there's episodes of her dodging automatic fire from rifles left and right. And it's like...
It's a good skill to have.
Yeah. And so, like, the more imprecise you are, the better are your chances of killing her. So since everyone is just trying to kill her so hard and trying to be precise with the shot, she just goes around fucking dodging bullets, Matrix style. It's really, really fun to watch. whenever she goes around beating the shit out of people. But the story so far is also very interesting. And, it's an A1 Pictures show that is good for once, so it's the yearly show of the good A1 Pictures.
Would I enjoy this?
To be honest with you, I don't know if you would enjoy it. I think it would be entertained and enjoy. I don't know. I can see you just getting into an episode, not paying a lot of attention, getting the action scenes, which are really well animated and
I am an action
well
junkie.
done, well choreographed. Yeah, and it's like, man, that's a really cool episode. I really enjoy the action.
I mean, if it has an 8.09, I think it's worth checking out at the very least.
It is. For you, I don't know. I think you're going to be entertained. Yeah, I think you're going to be entertained. I don't think you're going to pay too much close attention to the story, especially because there's already a few holes they didn't address, and it's only 3 episodes in. I'm watching Luminous Witches. It's great. I was expecting it to have really bad animation. It has bad animation, but since Shaft is also doing Ruby, I was expecting Ruby to have good animation and Luminous Witches to have bad animation, but Luminous Witches have better animation than Ruby. So that's not good.
Are you watching Ruby?
I am. The animation is sad.
What do you mean sad?
It's just really bad.
But it's by Shaft, isn't it?
It's bad, JD. Like, no. I'm saying it has worse animation than Luminous Witches. And
what?
Yeah, the animation is bad. At least, like, from episode... I watched 2 episodes, and, like, I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. Might as well just go back and watch the original.
No.
Yes. Again, episode 1 and 2, it's nothing to... it's really bad.
Why go for good animation when they never had it to begin with? Haha.
That is true.
Yeah, but this is Shaft we're talking about.
Dude.
Yeah, they're doing good animation in Luminous Witches.
Okay.
They didn't even use a 3D model yet for the flight animations like Brave Witches had, or even later Strike Witches have. They are actually animating the girls flying through the sky, although the dance are done with 3D CG models, but they are animating the flights, animating the planes. They're not using CGI for planes and whatnot. Everything is animated and animated quite well. So I guess they decided to use A-Team for Luminous Witches. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. I love Luminous Witches.
All right.
Let's see if there's any other ones. Any other interesting one? I guess that's just about it. Already talked about the other ones. And the rest
Luminous Witches as a 6.65 on my anime list.
Because it's bad. Only Hickey enjoys those kinds of shows.
Luminous Witches is great. Witches Project is amazing.
God, the full title of this is absurd.
Yeah.
League of Nations Air Force Aviation Magic Band Luminous Witches.
Yeah. Because it's still kind of a war story, so, it's the League of Nations musical band. Fun show. I like it. I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
But yeah, the highlight of the season, I guess, would be Licorice Recoil. It's quite entertaining, quite good.
All right, I'll check that one out. Let's see. Anyone watching Classroom Elite or...
I am.
Kanojo Okarishimasu? No?
I'm watching Classroom Elite. I need to think really hard when I'm watching it.
Why?
So I don't miss anything, because you need to.
Oh, it's one of those? Okay.
Yeah. You need to.
I'm also watching Ghost in the Shell level dialogue.
No, Ghost in the Shell. It's really shallow.
Okay, let's just talking like dialogue. There's just a lot to read and take in.
And there isn't a lot of dialogue. It's just that there's a lot of information. And since everything is a test, they're going through tests.
Okay.
You kind of need to pay attention. For example, the test they're having right now, it's like they were separated in groups, and each group is comprised by people from each class. Each day, they will receive a message saying if they are the leader of the group or just a peasant, basically. They need to come down and discuss to see who is the leader, and then they need to anonymously send the message to the test applicator who they think the leader is. And depending on how the situation goes, they have personal points and class points. And then like they go through a bunch of dialogues just discussing what is the strategy we're going to go with. Is the leader going to just review himself and everyone get points and we go rotating? If we're going to try to guess, we're going to divide and try to get into a more of our own class interest and try to sabotage people. You know, you lose points if you guess it wrong. You don't get points if it's from the same class as you are and you're the only one to guess. There's a bunch of rules. There's like 12, 15 rules you need to remember just to understand the type of dialogue that is going on. And aside the test that you need to pay attention to, there's also the actual struggle, the main story going on that you also need to pay attention to. So you need to fully concentrate or you're not going to get the full experience. And it's a little bit tiresome from time to time. That's why the last time I said, might as well just watch Bakachi Test. It's kind of the same thing, but it's funny and dumb.
Well, of the kind of top 9 shows people are watching, we're covering or giving impressions on 7 out of the 9. That's something. Doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of misses this season so far, at least to start.
I mean, there probably is.
I mean, to me, when was the last time that we were kind of this positive over a season? It's been a while, right?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched anything from the last couple of seasons, so like the problem for me is
because there hasn't been much to watch.
I disagree. I just haven't watched it. Yeah. Like, the problem for me with this season is the fact that, like, the only thing I'm watching is stuff that is a continuation of stuff that I watched before. I'm watching The Devil's a Part-Timer, which I liked, which I'm iffy on, but I've only seen one episode, so I'm not going to make any final judgment. And then Overlord Season 4, which is more Overlord. Like, there's something wrong with me today. I stopped enjoying Overlord. Or they fucking completely fuck everything up. I don't know. But yeah, like other than that, like Made in Abyss, I haven't started it yet because I haven't seen the movie. I haven't had time to watch the movie yet.
Oh man, get on that.
That's something
Tori.
I need to do. Danmachi, I need to get into. Like,
what did you give the first season again?
I think I gave it like an 8.
Yeah, so watch that third movie and get into the season. Get on that, man.
See, I'm just worried about watching.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm worried about watching the movie because fucking apparently the movie is not that good.
What are you talking about? I love the movie. It was really good.
I know you did. But
the movie's just fucked up.
The movie's definitely like fucked up. Holy shit.
It's not good. It's not good. It's very fucked up. It's probably like the most fucked up shit in Made in Abyss, including the 3 episodes of the 3rd season, but it's not a good movie. No.
All that people are annoyed about with that movie is the fact that
it's kind of like Looney Tunes comedy, but very fucked up.
All I've heard about that movie since I heard you talking about it was the fact that people are very annoyed at the fact that we got one of the most interesting villains, and he's shoved into a fucking movie that takes on his entire arc.
But I don't know.
How long was this? Hold on, because
like he's a good villain when it comes down to build up, yes, but he's like everything is very Looney Toony with him.
Yeah.
Well, like when you watch the movie, the movie
is very Looney Toony. Come on, JD.
I'm not denying that, but that's kind of the point. Like the best villains are guys who have logical sense to what they're doing, but it's fucked up.
Yes.
Either way, like I'm going to watch the movie, and I'm going to watch the third season at some point.
Like the movie's almost 2 fucking hours. Like that's like 6 dedicated episodes to such a crazy awesome villain. I don't know. It's not really. I wouldn't say it's shoved into anything. I mean, it's. I totally disagree with that sentiment.
We will see.
Maybe I'll have watched it by the next time we watch it.
It's fun. It's fun. I don't think it's a good movie, but it's fun.
Man, I gave that shit like an 8 or 9. I thought it was great.
Damn. But either way, we will see. We will see. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't have an opinion on it.
If you shove those like 6 episodes directly after Made to Miss 1, you would think it's just a shortened season.
Yeah, no, I agree with being a movie, honestly. I think it would be a good like anime story arc. Or like seasonal anime story arc.
Yeah.
Even if it was like at the end of first season, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if how
especially
long
because I don't think they would
24?
I don't think they would give. Yeah, I don't think they would give like 2 hours from him. I think it would be just like 4 episodes.
Yeah,
they'll cut a bunch of shit out and.
Yeah. So was the first season 24 episodes?
I think it was.
Let's see.
I know the new season is only 12 episodes.
Click. No, click.
No, 13. 13.
Yeah, 13.
All right, so just imagine that it's a 19 episode show season. And now you're watching this one.
We'll see. I'll probably have it watched by the next time we
I hope you do. I hope you do. I'm very curious.
And then we will talk about what I actually think about the movie. But so far, I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive about the movie. I have not heard many good things.
Well, you heard me say good things.
I know you are the only one I've heard say good things.
It's fun. It's made it is. It's fun. It's fucked up. It's just,
everyone else that I've heard talk about the movie says that they don't think it's fun at all.
Well,
they don't like it.
But
I think Hickey and I have a different definition of fun in this case.
I'm kind of fucked up in the head.
It's fun because it's fucked up.
Yeah, when some things happen in that movie, I was just laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, the orphans became that thing," and I started rolling on the ground.
Like,
it was
God
funny
damn!
as shit.
Well, that's because we hate orphans, Hickey. Obviously.
Yes, of course. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. They are drugged out of their minds. They don't mind. It's like, God damn.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. Again, I also like Looney Tunes, so
love Looney Tunes.
Yeah, so the movie being like fucked up Looney Tunes, it's kind of.
I'll give you an example, Tori. You remember that scene in the first season of Made in Abyss where Rico has like the poison thorns in her arm, and then Reg takes her up, and then she's bleeding from the eyes and vomiting and all this shit, and she's like, "Kill me." The whole movie's like that.
Yeah, I figured. I figured it would be. It's Made in Abyss after all. Nah, it is just, I don't know. Like again, literally just what I've been hearing. It's not been very good stuff about that movie in general. But the point that I'm trying to make is like, when I look at this season, right, I don't see
a standout like Spy X Family like last season.
Yeah, kind of. Like that's mostly my issues, right? There's a lot of stuff that I enjoy because I've been watching anime for a while. Like I was happy to see the Devil's Part-Time come back, the Overlord being Overlord. Danmachi is Danmachi. Danmachi was never that good to begin with, but I enjoy it.
I'm with you.
And stuff like that. And then you look down at everything else. Like, I know Hickey vouches for Licorice Recoil, but just the name sends shivers down my spine, and the synopsis sounds so cliche that I have an aversion to it no matter what.
Same. I wasn't watching it. I was like, man, that sounds like an absolutely shitty show.
It does.
But it's actually very good. I started watching like after people. I saw some GIFs.
Same. I've seen a lot from it. I've heard people talk about it a lot. Apparently, it looks good, but like, there's just whenever I think about watching it, I just read that name, and I'm just like,
Yeah, no. I also
sort of recoil in your stomach.
Yeah, I feel you. I think it's gonna go down a very, very, very dumb lane at some point. Like over the top, really dumb. But I don't know.
Mind me really dumb. It's just I'd probably watch that. But same thing, Call of the Night. I'll probably check that out as well, just because I like Dagashikashi. So getting to see something else by that guy is probably going to be quite interesting. And then other than that, it's a whole bunch of like Isekai harem. I know you guys are raving about that. I probably won't watch it.
No, Tori.
No, you don't.
Come on, join in. join in on the filth.
Maybe I'll watch an uncensored episode or two, and we'll see. But there's
Hickey and I are going to get you back into this filthy part of it.
No, you're saying that like I was ever out. I just don't watch anime. Whenever I do watch anime, it's filth. Nah. So, but all in all, I don't know. I think as summer seasons often go, a lot of some action, some interesting stuff, and just all in all, I don't know, nothing great. Just kind of like, it's one of those off seasons where it's like, it's summer. Who the fuck's going to be watching anime anyways?
Dude, it's been so atrociously hot outside.
Yeah.
For me.
Yes.
It's in the mid to upper 30s in Rhode Island here. I think I have hold on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mid to upper 30s. So like 35 to 38 is what it's been here. It's just like, I don't want to be outside. I don't want to go outside. I just got to stay inside in my busted air conditioner that's like half working. So it's only
half working. Huh?
Yeah, it's dude, it's brutal. I left Texas and Louisiana. I don't want to experience that weather anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but Europe is currently going through something of a heat wave, the likes of which it has never seen before.
So what is it, 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't want to go outside either.
No. That's not what I mean. Oh. Where I live, all summer it's been raining.
Oh.
It's been raining all summer. Nice. Literally all summer.
That's kind of cool.
It's not nice right now because the temperature is rising and it's still bad weather and I hate it because that just means it's fucking humid as fuck and hot as fuck and I hate it.
So you stay inside.
JD, do you know where I live? Inside is not good. Inside is terrible.
Why would you make it terrible?
What do you mean, why would I make it terrible? I live in Norway. I live in a country which fucking the thing our houses is built for is preserving heat.
Okay, so open a window. What's the big deal?
I have opened every window in the fucking house. It doesn't help. It doesn't fucking help. It doesn't fucking help. It's like 40 degrees inside.
Well, why don't you have air conditioning, Tori?
Because air conditioning isn't a thing here. No one has air conditioning.
Yeah, we'll get a fan.
Yeah.
I have plenty of fans. They are extremely ineffective.
That's exactly how it was living in Upper Michigan, where there's no such thing as air conditioning, or everything's just made with just insane amounts of insulation.
Yep. I don't think you've ever felt what it's like to have a fan blow hot air in your face. It's not good.
I have.
Yeah, it's called work.
Because you live in hell.
It's called at work.
It's like that. It's just not a good feeling. It's like, I have like 3 fans on, and it's just like, it's so hot. Why is it hot? Why is the air still hot?
This was the worst.
No. European and American summer is funny. Like we have dedicated programs in TV just explaining why 30C is so deadly while we're having 30C midwinter here. And
it's non-comparable. It's just
it's like don't mock them, okay? It's just different. Everything is just different. Like man, they're going through a heat wave. It's damn, it's 30 Celsius. It's like just like outside.
They're not even just going through a fucking heat wave. The UK is currently on fucking fire. Like there's been
Spain as well.
There's been more fires in the UK at the moment than there's ever been, even during fucking World War II when they were getting fucking bombed.
Well,
yeah,
it's also a fire in their in their parliament, so there's also that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it is like it is just not good,
man.
Yeah, it is not fucking
All right, enough
good.
about weather then. Point is watch anime. Anime's fun, right? Yay, hooray!
Yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah, I love anime.
So since we're talking about absurdly hot weather, I guess it's time to get into Desert Punk, right?
There you go. That's a segue.
Yeah, that's a segue. Getting into an anime that takes place in a blazing hot apocalyptic desert. Okay, playing the drop.
Every day, baby can't stand it. Ain't gonna be a good boy.
Well, that was a cool, 60 minutes worth of impressions and bullshitting, and it's time to talk about Sunabouzu, Desert Punk.
JD.
What?
Su.
What's wrong with Sunabouzu?
S-U, not Z. You said Zuna.
Well, is that I'm sorry, my German.
It's okay.
Yeah, I do that.
Talking about Europe and deserts.
Yeah. Okay, so I will read this, Tori. I will do it, even though it was your pick.
Yeah.
From my anime list, not Anime Planet for once. How about that? The Great Kanto Desert, a sweltering wasteland of nothing but ruins and sand, is all that remains of this post-apocalyptic Japan. The once fair population has been left to cling to the inhospitable dunes for survival. At least, that is the case for normal people. For those that have spent a little too long in the Kanto sun, the desert offers a wondrous opportunity to make a name for themselves. One such person is the masked handyman, Sunabouzu, or Desert Punk, who has forged a legendary reputation for always finishing his jobs no matter the nature or cost. Cunning and ruthless he has become a force of crude destruction to the other desert people. However, the vixen of the desert, the giant jugs of the desert, the well-endowed... Anyways, Junko Asagiri discovers that Desert Punk is not without his weaknesses. He is easily swayed by the insatiable lust for large-breasted desert babes. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. Following their chaotic adventures through the Kanto Desert, Desert Punk features a bizarre cast of personalities who entertain themselves with senseless violence and preservation in a world long destroyed by their forefathers.
Preservation, please.
All right.
Read that again.
Perversion.
Not preservation. No. None of that shit.
Or preservation. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. my mind, that's not actually what's written there. Just like them, they have not learned a damn thing. Okay, so this was by Studio Gonzo. Came out in the fall of 2004.
Gonzo.
The director...
Takayuki Inagaki.
And what else has he done?
Rosario to Vampire.
That explains the jiggle of Junko.
Ore no nonai sentakushi ga gakuen love comedy wo senryoku de jama shiteru. I remember that show. That's a long time ago. Damn. He has done some stuff. Some of it is decent. Most of it is not.
Okay. Yeah. So, impression overall. Tori, what did you think? And why did you pick this sucker in the first place?
Oh, overall, all I'm going to say is that Norio Wakamoto voices a character in this show, therefore it is a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. Amazing. I love it.
Oh, okay.
It's been so long since I heard the show. No, his voice. But, no. I picked this show because it has been recommended to me by someone at some point. And for some reason, I'm starting to think that it might have been Joe, because I know he likes this show. So he probably recommended it to me like years ago, and I never watched it. And then I came across it again.
I remember this name.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's why I picked it. So, overall thoughts? Sunabouzu sure is a trip.
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff that happens. Some of it is very uninteresting. Some of it is kind of interesting. It swings a lot For a while, I thought it was just going to be episodic, whatever the fuck. We just jerk off in the desert, I guess. And then sometimes story pops in, and yay. And for like half the show, I didn't even bother paying attention, because goddamn it, I was just trying to get through this shit. And then towards the end, I was like, okay, all right, now it's a little bit more interesting. Now we're talking. And all in all, it's got a 7.4 on Mal, which, damn, that's way too high.
All right, now we're talking.
Yeah, like it's a thing that exists. I had fun at times, and at other times, I wanted to do anything other than watch this show. This show was truly all over the place. With following a character in Kanto Mizuno, aka Sunabouzu, who but he has a bit of a heel turn at the end. He has a bit of a heel turn at the end, and god damn it, if that wasn't the most fucking expected thing ever, when it's just like, he's a villain. It's like, no shit. No fucking shit.
It's like, yes, but also, why?
Where have you been for 20... What do you mean, why? Well, motherfucker is literally the antagonist of the show from the very beginning. He is such an asshole. He is such a bad person. And the only thing he cares about is himself and his survival and trying to do well. And, of course, getting a bunch of big-breasted girls. That is all that matters to him. Anything else doesn't fucking matter. As a matter of fact, telling him that, but what about the survival of others? What about the fucking well-being of others? Don't you care about that?
What about the weak?
Yeah, that shit pisses him off. He hates that shit.
Yeah.
He hates weak people. So yeah, this is a show. It exists. There's my thoughts.
Yeah, it is a show. It exists. It just ends on a cliffhanger, and it never came back.
Yep.
Can't imagine why.
The manga kept going. The manga ended.
Yeah, well, the manga can keep going.
maybe just like comes back one day.
You know what? With the trend of anime lately, they would just bring this back randomly in a sequel.
Remake Sunabouzu. Oh,
no, they would just come out with the sequel.
Sunabouzu season 2.
Yeah.
No, fuck. You know what? Not even. Do a Danganronpa. Give us Sunabouzu season 3. Fuck season 2.
Oh, it just skips it all together.
Just read the manga or just play the game.
Yeah. They would do that. Hickey, do you have any further impressionable thoughts?
I mean, overall, had fun. I remember watching this on TV, and I guess it's extremely mild, because the way that thing was shown in Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was on MTV. So MTV, back in the 2000s, would have anime, but only fucked up anime.
Okay.
And they would put it right before the extremely softcore porn they would show. Past midnight. So like I remember one of the animes that were on MTV at the time was like Afro Samurai. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that was on TV in Germany when I was over there, I believe. At the same time.
Yeah, and Sunabouzu was on MTV. So I thought it would be way worse. Because, it's like, oh, okay, the anime ended, time for the porn. But...
So glad this anime is over.
Wild.
Let's get those chicks out. Let's fuck.
Honestly, probably the most like fucking fucked up thing that happens was Asagi and Junko basically just being like, oh, you could do anything you want to me. You could blow job, fucking hand job, feet stuff. That's all. I'll do it all. Even anal. That's basically the most fucked up that show ever got, and it's just like, yeah.
No, it's not, because the guy says, unfortunately, I'm not very good with living.
Yeah, I'm not fortunate with the living.
It's the same scene. You understand what I mean? It's the same fucking scene. So it's like that's basically that's about the most fucked up thing. Other than that, it's literally just like, what do we do? I took the fucking soldier dude and sold him to some homo. Whatever.
Also, for some reason, the Asagiri Junko is always well animated.
Well,
no
yeah.
matter the point of the show,
you gotta have the boob jiggle
well
physics all the
animated
time.
and well drawn.
I don't know if I'd say well drawn, but or well animated for that matter. But I understand what you mean.
At least,
comparatively, yes.
Yeah, she's always high quality compared to the surroundings.
Listen, man, it's important. you wouldn't understand.
I say that I think it's very interesting. It definitely shift gears at the last part.
Yeah, when the quote unquote story starts kicking in.
Yeah, characters wise,
I guess the
kind of
story kicks in when Natsuko Kawaguchi shows up.
Pretty much.
Well, I guess it technically starts with the old man. What was his name?
Yeah,
the Game of Life.
Yeah, the Game of Life.
Yeah.
Kaoru Kaisuka, that guy. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I did like Natsuko's introduction just because it's like, just seeing it through the eyes of Sunabouzu is like, oh yeah, we used to be childhood friends. We got along so well. And then at the end, it's like, got along? They two? No chance. She fucking hated him. He was the worst even back then. It's like, yeah, that sounds more right. That sounds about right. That sounds like the fucking desert punk that I know.
I guess my thoughts are kind of mirror yours, Tori, where at times, like, there are episodes where they're absurdly fun, and then there are others where it's just, I just want to get through this, get to the next episode. I thought, like, the finishing stretch there after, what episode would that be? 19, I think. 20. I guess it's 20. After episode 20, so those last like 4 episodes I thought were pretty horrible. Like, really bad. But that stretch beforehand where you discover the secret rebel organization, sorta, kinda, with Natsuko and Kaizuki and that group, and she's amassed all the mercenaries together. It's like, okay, that's, I guess, good. I thought we were going to get a little bit more, but yeah, the heel turn, like, it makes sense for Desert Punk, but not so much in the sense that it just ignored a lot of things. She just kind of shows up.
I mean, of course, it fucking survival, but like,
yeah,
for me, it's always just like, it's not that surprising just because they did talk about that before when the first time he got recruited for like the fucking reverse handyman, whatever the fuck, group, right? When they first show up and he's like, I don't fucking like this. I do not like this guy. The fucking old rich dude. I do not like what he's doing. I don't trust him, and I know for a fact that he's screwing everyone over, which they don't really get into that, but obviously that's what he's doing. Come on. He is extremely similar to fucking Kanta anyway, so
yeah,
it makes sense that he's fucking everyone over anyways, but like, and he's talking about manipulating people obviously as well, so it's like, that shit makes sense, but Sunabouzu says it himself, it's like, he kind of likes the government. They fucking make sure everybody eats and shit like that, and do all that. They kill people, they fucking do shit like that.
Helping the Wick.
Yeah, it's like, they kill people? Whatever. Not my problem. I abide by contracts. That's the only thing that matters to me. So fuck it. So him showing up again at the end and being like, yeah, I made a deal with the government. And it's like, makes sense.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, the government's not all bad. It's like, he doesn't outright hate them.
Not even that. He just doesn't care. He's literally just there and be like, there's a war going on, and I can profit off of this. You bet your fucking ass I'm going to profit off of this.
Very true. Very true. But still, it's like the stretch in between those episodes with what's her name? Kozuna. Not really interesting. It's trying. It's what's that?
The disciple.
Yeah, of course.
Disciple. Yeah. But I guess, yeah, it's more like the more interesting episodes, I guess, are more episodic. Like, I think the one I enjoyed the most is when it's after the Game of Life search and they fight the android killing machine, and Junko, being a traitor to the contract, is under his care, and he, instead of like selling her as a slave, he locks her up in his secret underground basement lair and does a lot of weird setup shit in order to fuck her. Like, locks her in a room and it's too hot, so he wants her to strip, and then he's hanging out in the air duct watching. It's like, oh, buddy. And then he sets up the shower and bath where and he's fucking masturbating in the goddamn duct. And
God damn that fucking sound effect. I'm just like, oh, is he doing what I think he's doing? And then you just hear the water hitting, and it's like, oh, no. And then they do it again and again, and I'm just like, stop, please. I don't want to listen to this.
He turns on the air conditioner, so she's cold, and she has to, and he like takes her clothes and puts her in a leotard, singlet, and high heels, and then they're fighting. And it's like, they're stuck there for 9 days because he doesn't remember the code, and they're gonna die. And then they just reference it throughout like other episodes. Like, you had her in your secret like basement fuck tub for 9 days, and you still couldn't do her. And he's like, yeah, don't remind me.
Don't remind me. No, I mean, like, that was fun, but I think the for me, like, even just
so
like
messed up.
Keeping her there, just that whole like scene, the way it all fucking plays out, just there's so many awkward situations like that. The
show's filled with that shit.
It is, but it's one of those things where it's like you sort of just like want it to end, and it does sort of end in a sort of comical way as well, because like how they get stuck there when it's just like, the power went off. Oh yeah, why did the power go? It's like, well, because do you think I can just fucking make like a magical shit like this happen? Like, just nice fucking bubble bath fit for a king, fucking fucking just freezing temperatures for the AC? You best believe I fucking used up all the energy I have for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, we have no more. We're out. We're done. It's like, you know what? Okay, fair. But there's a lot of that. Just like, there's a lot of just that, like, very like awkward, very like, I would say super sexual in that regard. Like, it's very, a lot of the sexuality is kind of shallow. Like, I was like, Junko just running around being like, I have big boobs. And it's just like, yep.
You sure do.
She sure does.
Yeah.
And, you know, in a way, it is the sort of stuff that I kind of like sometimes when it comes to these types of shows, because it's like, you know, obviously talking about a whole like misogynistic side of the show and whatnot, but it's like, I do kind of like the whole, like, when you have characters like this that are in this way, and then they're just like, it's never like, oh, they're weak women. It's always just like, men are idiots. Men are fucking stupid. And she is just there to take advantage of that at every fucking opportunity.
You gotta survive the desert.
Yep.
You gotta survive the desert.
I always kind of like those characters because it's just like, you know what? Yeah, I could absolutely see that being a thing people would do in this situation. Like,
it's the straight up Fujiko tactic.
Yeah,
from Lupin, yeah.
Men are fucking idiots. Right.
I think the other episode I was more drawn to was the one where Desert Punk's hired to protect the village that is trying to find a water source, and he just completely like eats them out of house and home and like drinks all their water. And then he's just bullshitting with them. The bandits come in. He eventually fights them, and he doesn't go as far as like poisoning their well if he doesn't get what he wants. But he fucking pisses them off from day one. He wants to have the chief's daughter like sign a contract where she'll be his sex slave. And when he finally defeats them and he knocks himself out accidentally, of course the villagers are gonna be like, yeah, we're just gonna dump him off in the desert.
Yeah.
I like the dog road stone episode.
Oh yeah, the fucking
that one is great.
That was so weird.
That was great. Like, it is clear there's something wrong with this, and Amagumo just fucking cramming his spirits. Yeah.
It's just like, I'm blowing this shit up, and then you just fucking, is that mist? It's like, what are you talking about? And he just passes out, and it's just It's just like, what happened? And then you just see the bone, and you're like, oh.
And fucking wet. It's like, what the fuck?
Dude had a spiritual sex dream.
Fucking cunt, just the dog girl trying to kill him, but like his evil spirit is just fighting.
Yeah, the fucking his perv energy is overpowering the fucking curse. Just like, yeah, baby. He is going to get laid, except he fails once again. But that's fine. Nah,
well,
Amaguma for me is definitely my favorite character just because of the silliness. Even in the end, like when he fucking joins the like reverse handyman group, and he's just like, every time there's him showing up, be like, I'm gonna take care of it. I can take care of this myself. And then he just runs away. Always, it's just like, haha, I've got an idea. He just runs off and it's like, he's escaping, motherfucker. And then he comes up just to take some credit, do some shit, pour some paint on some invisible motherfuckers, tie some people up. Honestly, not really doing that much, but he feels good about it.
The last scene you see of Bamagumo, he's just running. Running some guy, and he's just showing his junk.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of stripping dudes down in the desert in this show.
Yeah, but I do love that as well. The fucking whole show's like, I hear he steals people's souls, so what do you mean? Oh, he strips them naked. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's
do we wish there was more like anti-government and government involvement throughout the beginning stages of the show?
I don't know about the beginning. I do wish it wasn't all just episodic stuff, because like I said, the beginning of the show is, man, it is fucking, I just wanted to go asleep, to be honest. I didn't want to watch. That was not very interesting a lot of the time. A lot of the episodes are very bad. So in that sense, I do wish there was more, like, in terms of at least advancing the plot towards that direction. We don't need to introduce like anti-government faction right at the beginning, but at the end, the way it is right now, the way the show is set up, it's like there's the problem. Like it feels like everything like important to the story sort of just gets shoved in at the end, and then it ends.
Yeah,
and you're just like, what the fuck?
Because the episodic nature of it, like each episode is just an introduction to another character, and they have a short little arc, but you don't really know the connection to it all until they just shove it all into one episode, and you're like, oh, I guess they're all together now.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff like you sort of feel, because a lot of characters as well, like even as like it is, like she shows up for one episode and then disappears, and then it takes like another like 3-4 episodes before she returns,
right?
Stuff like that. So it's like you don't instantly understand that they're like important for later. Like you can imagine, but it's like,
well, I mean, your impression is they might show up for one episode later, and there's no connection overall.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you kind of just don't
Taiko
pay much.
Would just disappear, and she just stuck in the show.
Yeah,
she's just randomly introduced, randomly sticks, and randomly becomes the main character.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Okay. She got the main character, and then, but I mean, it's the same thing, right? Because she is like forever the pupil, right? The pupil of the sniper dude before, and then just like it makes sense. But yeah, the fact that when she just suddenly then became the fucking when she just became fucking main character, then we have fucking other kid introduced, the fucking like super scared shy dude. Yeah, the other whole Hulkosis dude, the fucking like, it's just like, okay, I see. So that's like a thing. Actually, it's not just that one fucking dude that they beat off in the beginning and then beat him off again later. And yes, I am saying it like that on purpose.
Your mother is an Audi.
Your mother has an Audi. Your mother has an Audi. My mother does not have a fucking Audi.
In the English dub, he calls him a dirty whore.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
Pretty much. In Japanese, what they're saying, like, your mom is fat.
Okay.
Because it's Debu.
I watched the English dub, and it was very vulgar language throughout the whole time.
I mean, yeah. Yes, there is. I think that's the point.
Okay. I guess action scenes were good, I guess. with the usage of wacky weapons. The post-apocalyptic environment I thought was interesting in how they had to like retool and copy things from the Dark Ages, the past of military weapons, how everything's kind of made out of this cheap plastic instead of authentic steel kind of situation. I like the establishment of all that. They still had access to some sort of technology like infrared and like fancy zoom cameras and whatnot attached to their helmets. Like, that's all cool. I like the establishment of that.
And yeah, we still have Sunabouzu running around with fucking hooks and balloons.
Hyper-realistic balloons.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder how he makes those.
Yeah, the kind of world is very interesting. The world building and everything is extremely interesting. Although I don't know why. Well, I mean, Japan had a shit ton of interesting weapons, I guess, at the end of the Dark Ages.
I wish they would have established the underground like Oasis system much earlier in the show to establish, because for all we knew for most of the show is there's just these essentially abandoned desert western towns, and there's nothing else to it other than the government might own a town out in the distance somewhere. But in reality, they own this just like huge honeycomb underground safe haven where they can produce everything and they're not exposed to the harshness of the desert. And there's like 4 of them. There's northwest, southeast, west, or north, south, east, west. And this entire show essentially takes place, I guess, in the West Oasis of it all. And there's intergovernment battles.
All of them, actually.
Yeah,
because,
okay.
Like, a lot of times they say, like, they're agents from the North Oasis, but they wandered around in no man's land and ended up in West Oasis.
Yeah, right. But predominantly this is East and West, right?
I thought it was North and West.
Predominantly, it's West.
Yeah, West.
It's only West, but sometimes from time to time they mention the other ones.
Yeah,
and you can see like, they're closer to the East or North. South. I don't think they mention South.
I don't think so either. No,
but they're like, we're like close to the North or close to the East. So kind of give you a sense of scale, I guess.
Yeah.
Of where borders are. Or how much they need to move and how much it takes to move from place to other. Which is interesting. It's something that it's easy to overlook. But again, the world building is really cool. I would love to play a game inspired by Sunabouzu. That would be really cool.
Well, I mean, isn't that Breath of Fire, essentially?
No.
RPG that takes place in like a post-apocalyptic desert type place. I think I got that right. I think so.
I don't know. Never heard of it before, so.
Okay. Well, old like Super Nintendo type games.
Oh, man. JD, we don't do old shit like that here. Come on.
1993. 1993. I wasn't even born when this game came out.
Oh my god.
I was about to say I wasn't even born when this anime came out, but that's not true.
God damn.
I don't watch anime at this point. Fuck anime.
Forever 17.
Forever 17, that's right.
All right. I felt dirty watching the show at times. The perverse nature of it, the grabbiness. Let's cancel the show. How about that? I feel like canceling a show from 2004.
Yeah, canceling this show like almost 20 years later.
Canceled.
Sure, let's cancel it.
Something tells me it already got canceled. That's why I don't get a second season.
I don't think it got canceled. It probably just wasn't that much interest.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. But
that's the pun. That's the joke.
There's no joke, Hickey. Come on.
There's no joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, again, like I said, the manga is a thing that ended in 2020. Been going since 1997. There's 22 volumes of it.
What the fuck? No way you're right.
No, I don't
want you to be right.
I am right.
I'm looking this up.
I am right.
Masatoshi Usune.
Yep,
22 volumes, and it went on for like fucking... Oh my god.
Yeah.
23 years.
Eater and Sunabouzu.
What the fuck is Eater?
Like, not even a volume a year, essentially?
Nope.
It's a horror.
It is.
Manga.
So that means it's time for the sequel. They can finish the show.
They can indeed. They can indeed. Or we can just read the manga.
I don't want to do that.
What do you mean? Sounds like a great time.
I don't want to do that. Okay. Scores. Hickey, how about you go first?
6. Everything is average, but I enjoyed the show at the end of the day. 6.
Everything is average. I give you 6. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely do agree with average. Like, for me, the show sort of, rather than saying that it's average, I say this show fucking balances on, like, the edges of everything. It's sometimes very good. It's sometimes very bad.
Yeah.
And all in all, that just sort of roused me all the way back to a 5 again. It's like, I mean, I had fun with it at times. It's good at times. It's bad at times.
Yeah.
A 5.
Okay. So I was feeling 5 the most for most of the show. Some good, some bad, ups and downs. I wasn't into it enough. And then the last 4 episodes for me were just such a chore to get through. I hated the ending. Like, even though the heel turn makes sense for his character, I still felt it came out of nowhere. Just, he's alive. He's like, I know these are all tropes that we're used to in anime. For some reason, this one bothered me more than most. I think it's because the story finally started like having some substance to it. And I was like, okay, now we're getting down to business. This might have like a good finishing stretch. And I thought it just laid an egg, especially with the Kozuna episodes. So I'm lower than most. I'm at a 4. It's definitely no 7.4 that Mal has. No way.
No, it isn't. I don't understand how that happened. Although I guess
people who watched it when they were kids.
Yeah, I was about to say, I guess
oh my god, boobs! Wow.
Just like that, eh, Hickey?
Oh my god, boobs! I mean, to be fair, I'm almost 27, and that still works on me sometimes. But you know, at least
at least
you
give a proper score to it.
Yeah,
it's not like, man, I remember those boobs I watched when I was 5.
All right, so I give the show a 4. Junko's boobs, I give a solid 8.
I give them a double D. What?
You give them a double D? All right. What was that first episode called? Hold on. It was called The Demon and the Double Ds. That was episode 1.
That is indeed. A lot of great titles. Wandering Lust. Fucking Perv in Pursuit.
Yep. Let's see. There's some more here I'm looking at. Sin and Punishment. Riveting. Yeah, Junko and the Pursuer. That's Perv in Pursuit. Yep. Well, okay. So we're at a 5 for this show, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Same.
All right, so our next episode is going to be... so we're all busy in our 2-week span, so it'll be in 3 weeks, our next episode, and it's over. It's my pick. It's Fushigi Yugi, first 25 episodes. Let's get into it.
Yay.
Get into it, man.
Yeah.
Yay, anime.
All right.
Old anime.
This was episode 130. See you next time.
Peace.
Bye.